trying to make y'all comfortable. For the record, we ain't trying to grow that stuff for you. For the record, lab on me going all the way. For the
Hey, it's your girl Zoe, aka Melanated Beauty, back at you guys again for another awesome YouTube video. And today I will be doing my nails, because as you can see from my last video, they are now naked and it's time to redo them. So today I'll be trying something completely different. As you know, I just started doing polygel and dip powders and all of that, so I decided to test out some color strips. A lady on Facebook, beautiful lady named Nina, gave me a nice little kit to test out. So we're going to do that on top of some polygel, because the tips I have aren't really strong enough, and I just don't trust putting tips on there and them not lasting long enough for me, or having, you know, any sort of complications, or being too thin. So we're going to apply a layer of polygel. So this kit comes with, let's see, 16 strips, and the shape of nails I'm going to use, I honestly don't think I'm even going to have any of the black part of the tips on there, but we're going to see. So she wrote me a cute little note. I like this packaging. It came in a purple packaging too. I will put all of her information below so you guys could check her out. And it has instructions, and it comes with its own little kit on what you're supposed to be using and how to do everything. So today, like I said, I'm going to be using polygel. So I have my Joy Tea lamp. I have my new nail drill. If you guys want to see a video on this, or an unboxing, well, a video on it, in a review, let me know in the comments below. Of course, we have our little brush. I'll be prepping my nails with some dehydrator and Max Bond. I haven't been using it, but I will start using it today. I think I got some polygel on those, and it's pretty sticky. We have, why can't I remember the name of this? Cuticle oil. I'm going to, like I said, use clear polygel, thin coat of clear polygel on top to push back the cuticles. And then you have your scraper and your brush for the polygel. That brush gets pretty, it's not really too soft, but I use it. And I will be using the top and the base coat that come with the polygel. Last time I used the one that came with my gel polish. I'll also be using alcohol today instead of the liquid, the slip solution that comes with the polygel kit. I might put some rhinestones on it, don't know yet. And of course, my nail tips. I bought me a nail clipper because I was tired of using the other ones. That's brand new. And of course, you're gonna need some nail files, okay? So let's go ahead and get into this video, guys. So of course you want to prep your nails before you do anything with your nails, including a manicure. So I am just pushing back my cuticles here. The prepping process is easy, and it is needed for the best outcome for your nails, ladies. So make sure you push back those cuticles so you don't have that extra skin in the way when it's time to lay down your product. Next step is file and get off some of that extra shine that may be on your nails. And I'm also going in and roughing up my edges just a little bit so that the tips can fit on a little bit better into the grooves once I go ahead and like put the glue on and everything. Getting some of that extra dust off because we just don't need it because it's extra. So I'm just going ahead and like reading some of the instructions, just getting this ready, like seeing if I need this right now. So yeah, I was just taking everything out, really just like seeing what all came in here. Those were 2 extra test strips. And it has like little alcohol pads to go ahead and make sure you get the extra shine off of your nails and all of that oil and stuff. Like I said, I took the nail file before that and got some of the shine off, but of course this is good as well to make sure you get all of the extra oil out. And now it's time to select my tips. And to be honest, I didn't really care for these tips because they were stinky. They smelled like plastic, like ew. So you want to make sure your tips fit from sidewall to sidewall and aren't too big and aren't too little. Sometimes if they're too big, you can go in and like clip some of the side off so that it can fit a little bit better. These nail tips, I think it has like 10 different sizes. So I laid them all out once I finally picked the ones that I had. And then I was going to go in, I got my nail drill out, and I decided to go ahead and roughen up the inside of the nail tips so that the glue will fit better on my nails, because I did roughen up my regular nails so that they can fit. And I'm also doing the same thing with the tips. So that's me, prepping the actual tips as well. You don't have to do that, but that's just something I decided to do. Then I'm going to go ahead and glue my tips on. You only really need like 1 dot. Some people like to put a dot on the actual, your actual nails, but I choose to put it on the tip. And I'm just making sure it's on there correctly, because I didn't feel like the actual tips were a little bit straight at the end, which made them not fit. They made them not go on there properly. It made them get a few bubbles, and I was not really feeling that. So I was just making sure I was putting them on like the best that I could. And then I'm going in with the nail clippers that I got, and I actually really like this. It's like so much easier than using regular nail clippers. So I'm going in and just clipping my first hand, instead of having both hands with these really long tips on there and trying to figure it out. So I just made sure I got the length right. And I already have the nails on the other hand, so I'm going in and taking the shine off of the actual tip, and also making sure that the tip is flushed to my real nail by filing it just a little bit. It doesn't take a lot of filing, and you don't really have to push down a lot either. Alright, so once you finish up with the filing, go ahead and take your duster and make sure you get all of the dust from off your nails and from underneath your nail tips. And then I'm going to go ahead and take another alcohol wipe and just make sure I'm getting all of the extra dust off this way as well, because I just don't want it sticking to my polygel or the base coat or anything like that. So that's what it looks like when I get done with that. And then I'm just going to go ahead and finish prepping by putting on the dehydrator first. And you just put it onto your nail bed. You don't have to put it onto the nail tip. And you don't need a lot. I literally just use like one for about 4 or 5 of my nails. That's all you really needed. And then you're going to go ahead and put the primer on right after your dehydrator. And again, you put that onto your nail bed. You do not have to put it onto the actual tip. And you do this on all of your fingers. All right, now our next step is to add our base coat on. So I'm just going to go ahead and apply a thin coat of base coat to all of my nails. And as I said before, the base coat didn't dry too well, so we're just going to see how this works. And then you're going to cure it for about 30 to 60 seconds, and that's it. So now I have my dapping dish, my polygel, and my pen here. And like I said, I'll be using alcohol this time, and you literally only need a little bit of slip solution or alcohol, whichever one you prefer. So the brush was really stiff, so I'm just prepping the brush by rubbing it in alcohol. So the first step is you're going to take the polygel. I decided to use clear. And you can either squeeze it directly onto your nail like I'm doing, or you can use the scraper at the under end of the brush and scrape it off from out of the tube. So you go ahead and get some of that slip solution or alcohol, and then you just pat the polygel into place. I put it where the nail tip meets, well, where the nail tip actually starts on my nail, and just brush it up. You can also take the polygel and like squeeze out a line of it onto your nail from the cuticle all the way to the tip, and then begin to spread it out onto your nail that way. But I choose to start where I started, and I do try to get it where my apex is and build a stronger foundation there so that the nails don't crack or lift and just last a little bit longer. But you want to make sure you're getting it on the nail evenly all the way to the tip. Make sure you get the edges of your tip so there aren't any sharp edges and things like that. So I'm just going to make sure everything is even. Make sure you flip the nail, your finger, and make sure it's no lumps and bumps. Try to smooth it out. And as you can see, the polygel started to stick to my brush. So once it starts to stick to your brush, that's how you know you need to get some more solution. So try to catch that before it actually sticks, because you could have your nails looking really good and then your brush dries out and it pulls a piece of that polygel and you have to go back in and work that little section. So try to avoid the polygel sticking to the brush. And once you're done with that, you go ahead and let your nail cure for 60 seconds. This was the first nail I did, so I cured this one first to make sure, it came out looking right. And then I did notice that some of my nails weren't as filed correctly as I wanted them to, so I just went back in a little bit. But depending on the polygel, you can go ahead and lay the polygel down onto your nails, all 5 of your nails if you want to, before you cure it. Some polygel does move a little bit more, so you have to cure it quicker. But this was thick and stickier, so it actually stayed in place. So I was able to, so I could go and do as many nails as I wanted to. But that was my first one. I always just go ahead and make sure that one cured correctly and I don't need more time. So here I did need to add more polygel because I didn't add as much. So if you don't have enough, you can always just squeeze more back on there and pat it into place. And if you have extra, then you can take the extra, scrape it off, and put it onto your next nail that you'll be working with. So it started to come out really good. You really don't need a lot, at all. I have 6 tubes of this polygel, different colors, and it's going to last me a good little minute. So you're just going to, like I said, take the polygel, squeeze it onto the nail, or you can take the other end of your scraper and just scrape it onto your nails, and then place the polygel into place. And on this nail, I had extra, so I just, again, scraped it off and added it onto the next nail that I'll be working on. So you want to do this with all 10 of your nails. And I messed up here by curing my nail. I cured my other nail before I even placed the polygel correctly on there, so I had a lump that I actually had to go and take off. So I took that off and then started doing the rest of my nails, guys. So once you're done laying all the product on your nails and curing them, you're going to go in with a cotton swab and some alcohol and wiping that sticky, clear, tacky layer off of your nails. Now, some of your kits, like if you actually get a polygel kit that comes with some items, there will be some wipes in there for you to do this. My kit did come with it, but I decided to just go ahead and use some of the alcohol and slip solution that I already had left over. And thus far, I think they came out, pretty darn good. So when you get done wiping off the tacky layer, go ahead and you can file down the polygel, get out any lumps or bumps and bubbles that may be in there. And if you need to touch up the shape of your nails, go ahead and do that now. But like I said, I think they came out like really darn good. Like they're clear, and I think if I would have put some jewels on it like that, it would have been nice this way as well. But I'm just going in, of course, and like I said, shaping up my nails, making sure there's no random excess polygel left on my edges and things like that. And on this particular layer, I just went in and was filing out some of the bumps that I noticed and air bubbles that I had. So I decided to go ahead and pull out my nail drill because I did have a few little air bubbles that happened. So I'm just going to go ahead and try to file and shape that down on the ones that I did have, because if you use a little bit too much slip solution or alcohol and then you cure your nails with those bubbles on there or that liquid on there, then it'll create the air bubbles or the bubbles left on your nails. So I was just going ahead and scraping those, drilling those off, filing it down properly, because I didn't want that stuff on there, or the polish or nail strips would not lay down properly. So I finished getting those little lumps and bumps out. So I'm going to go ahead and buffer my nails to make sure it's no grooves from the nail file on my nails. You can use your nail drill, of course, to do this part, but I am using my hand nail file for this part. I was really happy about the way that they were looking and feeling. But then you go back in with your duster, of course, and get all that excess dust off. And then I'm going to go in with a cotton swab and some alcohol and just wipe the excess nail dust off. And you should do this as well, of course. If you're going to polish your nails, you don't want it to be clumpy because of dust and things like that. So just thoroughly make sure you get all of it off. At this point, you can wash your hands. So I will be using the Color Streets kit. I will be putting her link below so you guys can check out the other kind that she has, but this is the one that she sent me. And this is everything that came in it. So it looks, you know, pretty simple, pretty easy. And I struggled for a second to open this up. And I didn't have any scissors in front of me, so I got kind of creative. And it came with 16 strips here. And honestly, you should practice with this. So I'm going in just reading the instructions because I'm not trying to jack my nails up. And I did not thoroughly read. I just went ahead and started tackling it, which was not the best. So you guys make sure you read your instructions because instructions are always important. Even if it's something that you've already had before and used before, the instructions may change. So basically what I did was take off the initial tab and a clear piece of film that was on it, and then just stuck it to my finger. And then I went ahead and took the nail file that came with the kit to begin to file the excess piece off, but it felt a little bit too thick, so I was like, this is not correct here. So I decided to start over and actually thoroughly read my instructions. So as you can see, I got one nail down, came out really good. So as you're doing tips, you want to make sure that the color strip is the right size for your entire nail, that it's going to fit from sidewall to sidewall. So that's also something you want to make sure you're doing properly as well. So it's a thin layer that you're taking off first, and then you can place it onto your nail, and then it's an additional thin layer, protective, that you have to take off as well after the tab. And then you just gently push down the color strip onto your nail. Make sure it's on there nice and snug. And then you go in with the nail file and file off the excess strip. You can just pull it off once you see that it's fit on there properly, but I just decided to go ahead and file it off because the instructions say also you can do that. And if you're doing this on your regular nail, 9 times out of 10 there will be enough of the strip left for you to use on another finger. But since I used a tip, I am using more than half of the actual polish strip. So again, I went in, took the first thin piece of film off that was on there. It's like a little thin plastic piece. I stick it to my nail, press down gently, make sure it's fitting sidewall to sidewall. And then I go in and just gently press down and file that piece off. And you're going to do this on all of your nails. And then when you have finally placed the color strips on all 10 of your nails, you can go back and just double check and make sure, they look right. But this is the final look. You don't need anything else after this. You don't have to add a top coat or anything. Hey y'all, I am back with an update on my nails. So I finished the last video completely just done with my nails. So I decided to come back with you guys with my honest opinion on how my nails turned out and how I feel about these color strips. So today officially makes a week since I've had my nails on, and I am proud of myself because baby, they stayed on the whole time. But the crazy thing is in my sage. So ignore the smoke. So I was like, watch, I'm gonna record this video and watch a nail pop off or something. And you know what happened? My nail definitely cracked. Definitely cracked. Doing something random in the kitchen. You know, when you break your nails, you're usually doing something random. And I feel like the only reason it actually broke was because my apex is not strong enough. It's pretty flat here. So they're not really that strong here. And this is your apex, ladies, if you don't know what that is. That's why when you go to the nail shop, and you see other ladies have their nails done, it's kind of like, you know, a little hump. And then, you know, it goes right onto there. So my nails are pretty flat. When it comes to having and using dual forms, when it comes to the polygel, your apex is not strong either. It is really flat for the most part, but I did use the polygel over my nail tips. So if I chose to, I could have went in there and made my apex a little bit stronger. But you know, guys, I am starting off, so I'm learning as I go. So this is the one that broke. This is the one here that if you watched in the video, I put 2 color strips on here because I was totally like, oh, kind of over it. Kind of over it, and it broke. Let me see if it'll focus. It broke right here. So yes, I super glued it back on. Oh well. But like I said, I'm very proud of myself because they've been holding one. They've been doing the thing. So a few things that I did do differently with my nails this time. As I stated in the video, I did use my primer and my dehydrator. I also let them cure for the right amount of time, and I used the tip. So I felt like that made it a lot better for me. So this is it. Here, the color strip chipped just a little bit. It's not focusing. It's not focusing. But yeah, the color strip cracked just a little bit right there, and a little bit on that side. Now I should have chosen better sizes for the color strips as I was going, but I was working it out. Okay, I was doing my best. Being my first time using color strips. Things about the color strips, I like them overall because they're pretty easy. Once you get the hang of it, they're pretty easy. I didn't think I was gonna like this color because it's red and black. I don't do red on my nails, never have. And they're like glittery, but I've got accustomed to them, and as I walk around the house and touch certain things, I'm like, oh, look at that. It's the same color and it's cute. But the main thing I did not like about the color strips is they smelled like straight polish, because that's what it is. A color strip, color street, all of that is nothing but a polish strip. And my nails were smelling like polish for like 3 days. And of course, when you use gel polish, you don't have that issue at all. And now that I'm doing my nails, I definitely prefer gel polish over regular polish. And gel polish just dries quicker. With these, you don't have to dry them. I was nervous about like getting my hand, like getting stuff out the oven, or like being over the stove and something hot. I was like, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Now, to prevent it from chipping, I feel like I could have went in with like a gel top coat, and it would have been fine. And I didn't put any bling on, which I was contemplating on doing, but I did not. I do have some, like this one here. If you can kind of see, like, it's like a little line up here. That's just the polygel, the way I laid it down. But yeah, they look pretty darn good to me. Comment below and let me know what you guys think. But yeah, I think I did a really good job at this. You guys like, share, and subscribe to my channel. Subscribe below. Hit the subscribe button, because when I get to 500 subscribers, I will be doing a giveaway, and I have some nice stuff for you guys. I think I'm gonna be giving away like 3 separate. I'm gonna pick 3 people, and yeah, I have nice stuff for you guys. You should already know. So peace, love, and hair grease.
try to make y'all comfortable. For the record, we ain't trying to grow, then it's done for you. For the record.